Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of the D&T Wrestling Show. We are following one day after WrestleMania Night 1. We are here to talk to y'all about what happened on Friday Night Smackdown, as well, of course, as what happened yesterday on WrestleMania Night 1. What were our predictions? Did they come true? Did we get them right? Did we get them wrong? I am your host, Daniel, the D in the D&T. Joined by my fellow co-hosts, best friend in the world, co-host number 1 in the world, Tyler Thomas. Tyler, how are you doing?
Yo, fantastic, my fine sir.
All right.
Little. I am doing fantastic.
Yeah.
Little rough after last night. I don't know how you're feeling, but we'll get into it as the episode goes.
It's all right. You know, I'm not horribly disappointed necessarily. I guess that's what we are here to talk about. But I will say this real quick just for everyone. If you happen to join in live, we are here on Twitch. This is being streamed on my Twitch channel, at Twitch / whatever. I am Dan. Tyler, are you streaming as well on yours by any chance right now?
No, I'm not streaming right now. I will be streaming, but my name is TNTX72. And then you can also find us on. We've definitely created some socials since last time, so you can find us on X, Instagram, TikTok. They should be the D&T podcast or the D&T show, one of the two. We have the links down in the description. But "and" is the word "and" because you can't have symbols in your ads for whatever reason. But so just go ahead and definitely follow us on there.
Yeah, well, look, we're live here Sunday on the Lord's Day, 420, and just want to say Happy Easter and Happy 420 to everyone. It just hit me that today was 420, so what an incredible day. What an incredible day today is, and we do actually have more WrestleMania today. So actually, this is quite the day. 420 is. So look,
we got some crazy stuff going on today.
Hop in whenever y'all get the chance to watch the live streams that we'll be putting out here for y'all. So please come in, please chat. Today maybe it might not be that day for this. I know that y'all are probably with your families, but either way, we want to be with you too. So look, we'll kind of go ahead and roll into this a little bit. Like we said, we'll start this show actually just real quick, going over what happened on SmackDown, just because as a show we do want to keep consistent with what we're going over. Generally, what will happen is we'll just go over SmackDown week to week, but of course WrestleMania won't always be a thing. So we'll try to cover that for y'all real quick here, and then we'll get into juicy stuff to WrestleMania. We will spend most of the time on that. So look, I'll just go ahead and get this started. What happened on SmackDown? First, and we'll keep this to relevant things that happen. We are not hitting every single thing we want to talk about WrestleMania. So just first relevant thing to especially what happened yesterday. Seth Rollins did cut a little promo, just his own pipe bomb, and where he essentially just he gives the whole Paul Heyman thing where he says that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler, where he's basically saying exactly kind of what ended up happening. Like, I'm going to be the one to win this. I'm the guy that runs this company. Similar sense of the promos he's already been running, but he just did it himself. He did it in the ring, sitting down, crisscross applesauce. He did the whole, again, like I just said, that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. That's a shout out to Paul Heyman, which was them leaning more. And of course, if you happen to get a chance to listen to episode 1, you would have seen our predictions and heard what we said. We'll of course get to that here in a little bit of what exactly happened, but they were leaning more into that idea that Seth would end up with Paul Heyman, and we were all led to believe, well, what's going to happen? So that's all that promo was, really building us up for what was the main event of yesterday, WrestleMania Night 1. So, Tyler, you can take the next thing.
Next thing is Carmelo Hayes wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. The final 3 were Rey Fenix, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes. Basically, Rey Fenix only got eliminated based off of shenanigans from El Grande or Chad Gable. I don't remember exactly who it was. One of the two. And then they finally kind of gave us a match 7 against the Carmelo Hayes and Andrade match, because we never really officially got that 7-game series final because LA Knight interrupted it last time. So, I think they're definitely 2 fantastic talents, and good for Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, cool match. They're giving Carmelo something something actually of note. That's pretty much the only
Yeah.
thing I have to say is that I like Carmelo, so the fact that he's winning something is nice. I hope he continues to win more meaningful
Yes.
things and not just he
Hopefully they
doesn't
give him a
actually.
title next this next year.
Yeah,
I always go in WrestleMania as the year, so the year starts in April or
I,
after April, I
I'm
should
I'm
say.
thinking unless some big swerve is coming, and I don't, and no pun intended on that, of course. But my big hope is that Mello is Mello in the bank.
Oh, it would be so nice. It
Yeah,
would be so
that would
good.
be really
It would
fun.
be so good.
As we get closer to that, me and you, of course, will have a lot of discussion around Money in the
Yeah.
Bank. But okay, so next thing we got on the docket for SmackDown is that a DIY did come in, and they helped Street Profits retain their WWE Tag Team Championships against the who was it, Motor City Machine Guns. Now, when I say helped in the air quotes, it is because they didn't really help. They came in and interfered in the match, of course, causing a
Yeah.
DQ, which would cause the titles to stay in the hands
Yeah.
of the title holder. Uh, the thing is, what really so what they're running right now, the angle with DIY, and I'll keep this really short and simple. They're basically conspiracy theorists, right? So they're kind of playing on just the general sense in
Yes.
society right now. A lot of people
Yeah.
are conspiracy theorists nowadays. I think a lot more than they used to be, right? So they are playing on this idea, and I think Champa actually plays it perfectly. I think he's the one that must have been the kind of inspiration here because he's really good at being
Yeah.
like,
Did you see that he had to shave his beard?
did he? I actually
Yeah.
no, that's hilarious.
It's
That's
on it was
hilarious.
on Twitter that he had to
Uh
he fell or something and like busted his chin open and had to shave his
wow.
just like I
Yeah.
did. But
No, I didn't know that. That actually really sucks, but
he looks see dude, I've
that
never seen him
sucks.
without a beard.
Yeah.
He looks
I'm gonna have to take a look at
yeah.
that. Stream. Hey, if you're watching this, go. I would look that up if you haven't had a chance to see it yourself. That must
Mm-hmm.
be crazy looking because he's had a beard for a while. Well, no. Look. Yeah. Keeping it simple. They ran off with the belts, so they didn't just help the new, or sorry, Street Profits, keep those belts. They actually literally stole the belts and ran off. The DIY did. So that was tag team division stuff. What do we got next?
What is next is Rey Mysterio, Phoenix, and Dragon Lee defeat American Made in a six-man tag match. And, the match was fantastic. We kind of alluded to it last week or the last podcast where, like, we want Rey Phoenix and these guys to kind of, or Julius Creed to kind of face these other kind of guys. And, you know what? We got it. We ended up getting it.
Less than a
So
week later.
we can, yeah, literally
One
less than a week
show
later.
later.
Seriously,
What are the
right?
odds of
So.
that?
But unfortunately, Rey Mysterio did come out of this match with an injury. It looks like it's a lower leg type of ACL or something like that.
Yeah.
So obviously, we'll get into it when we look at the overall of what happened night one of WrestleMania. Just to kind of get it, I guess Rey Fenix ended up taking Rey Mysterio's spot in WrestleMania and fighting El Grande Americano. But no, like the match was fantastic. Obviously there were some fantastic spots.
Yep.
Just because all of them seem to work really, really, really well together. Like you even, yeah, there's nothing really much else to say about it. It was a great match.
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head. It's exactly like if you want to hear me just talk about Julius Creed fighting luchadors, literally last episode, that's all. I spent a couple minutes on it, right?
Yeah,
And then what do
yeah,
they do? They give us a match doing exactly that, just with the rest of American Made involved. Great match. Go watch highlights if you have a chance to watch it. But yeah, like Tyler said, the big thing to note, literally changed our predictions up because he never even ended up being in the match. Was that Rey Mysterio
yeah,
actually gets hurt? So it ends up opening up the road for Rey Fenix to be, you know, El Grande Americano's new opponent at WrestleMania. Kind of the only big thing to come out of that. So
yeah.
maybe raises some questions as to why older vet Rey Mysterio was in a match like this a day before his WrestleMania appearance. That's maybe my question. We could have probably just done like
Oh,
a tag team,
there
but
was there was one thing that's not on the show sheet that was kind of important.
what
Randy
are you
Orton
feeling?
comes out.
Okay,
Randy
yeah, go
Orton
ahead,
comes
talk
out
about it.
and basically issues an open challenge. Basically saying like, I don't have an opponent. This is my 20th year at WrestleMania. Like I need something, and issues an open challenge. He said he'll be there, so we get to see. We get to see who comes out. Is it going to be Rusev? Is it going to be Malachi Black? Probably not because they issued him. That's going to be debuting next week on Friday. Is it going to be just a completely other guy? Is it going to be somebody? Like, who knows? Who knows who it's going to be? So.
I will say that yeah, you're right. I should have put that on there. I definitely had completely missed that, but No, I'm liking it because I'm feeling like this is their way of telling us that this won't be Solo Sikoa. I'm actually kind of also feeling like it won't be Nick Aldis now. That's kind of my
Yeah, I
feeling.
agree.
I do think we are getting a wrestler that we are not exactly sure who it is yet. Rusev is the one that I keep completely forgetting about. That would be really cool. This is a name I'll throw out there real quick because I can't remember. I think it was shout out to our friend James. I believe it is James, the first person that had mentioned this to me a couple days ago. If Jeff Hardy happens to make a WWE return again
Ah,
at WrestleMania
come
again
on,
to
man.
have a fun match with Randy Orton, that'd be really cool. I'm just saying that as a big Jeff Hardy fanboy. I don't know if that would actually make for the best match at this point, but anything would be cool. We'll be excited for it. So that's literally going to be in several hours from now. So hopefully it's a very fun match. Maybe it'll be Ted DiBiase Jr. and we'll bring back Legacy,
Don't even
and
start.
they'll go fight Cody.
That'd be so
Or
funny.
no, there'll be a new heel faction after Cody loses to Cena and The Rock. But no,
Yeah,
cool.
seriously.
Well, speaking of which, that'll bring us into our last thing of importance that I have on here. Cody and John have another promo. It says here they verbally destroy each other. That's I would kind of call that fact. Like the
Yeah,
things they were saying back and forth, I couldn't do it justice. There was a lot back and forth between the two of them. I would that's another part of the show I would go back and watch if you get a chance to do it. But some of the more kind of like general ideas of what was being said, it was kind of a lot of like John at first trying to like put Cody down and be like, hey, give me shut your mouth, kid, blah blah blah. Like I'm getting tired of this. But then Cody immediately just kind of shutting him up and being like, I'm not even gonna play sweet with you. I'm gonna insult you about how pale you are, your receding hairline, the fact
it's
that
just
Hollywood
just
doesn't
dissing
want
him
you,
every which way.
all these every which way. And Cody gave John probably a taste of his own medicine. How much of that Cody Rhodes organically came up with on his own, who knows? It doesn't really matter. Cody, it was a fun little thing where he really went in on John.
Yep.
John didn't sucker away from it necessarily, but it did. John did a good job acting like, whoa, this guy's really coming at me. You know what I mean? But no, it's all
Yeah.
fun and good. Just a short little thing from me, like just
Yeah.
there's a huge difference between a feud like this and what we saw leading up to Tiffany and Charlotte. We're obviously going to get to that, but these guys actually do like each other. They're actually friends, so you can tell where they're pretending to hate each other. It actually comes off pretty nicely and pretty well because
Yeah.
they trust each other. I guess I'll say.
For
But
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was that promo. It just a nice build up, more build up, but nothing really changes. Like I guess the big thing I note there, it just was fun to watch, but nothing changed. It just built more hype for the match tonight. You got anything to say about
Also,
that?
yeah, first I'll address Cody Burris in the chat.
Mm.
Thank you for commenting. He says the WWE Slammy Awards are tonight, and actually, I did not know that. I did not know the Slammy Awards were tonight. I
Oh,
don't know
I
why.
totally forgot about that. Yeah. Totally
So
forgot
yeah,
about that.
we get to watch that and see. Um, I personally love whoever gets the social media award, who's like the best social media, because
Mm-hmm.
I think wrestling has just done a fantastic job about adapting their ways to social media and even bringing kayfabe to social media and stuff like that too. So I like it. I think it's a cool, especially with Drew McIntyre and Chelsea Green and all those type of people. So definitely a nice little award. But yeah, my comments on the John Cena Cody Rhodes stuff, like you said, like you said, they were just kind of going back and forth and dissing each other a little bit.
Yeah.
John Cena calling Cody just like, "You're not it, champ," and then Cody's like, "Well, you're a bald, pasty sob," and that kind of stuff. So, no, it was good. It was good. Yeah, it's. I think everybody's still excited for their match. It does suck that John wasn't on TV for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks until this time, but we
We got
got to
what we
deal with
got.
John Cena's schedule. We got
Yeah.
to deal with the schedule. So, hopefully, yeah, we'll see more of him in the future. But
Yeah.
I think that brings us to the first match of Night One WrestleMania:
Yes, sir. Yes,
Jay
sir.
Uso versus Gunther.
All
Take it away,
right.
my friend.
Well, the results of the match is what me and you both predicted, being that Jey Uso is your new World Heavyweight Champion, defeating
Want to
Gunther
know? Want to
with
know?
a sleeper hold submission. Gunther's own sleeper finisher used against him. Very controversial, as far as a fan reaction. Not necessarily the fact that Jay won. I think that was the fan favorite idea of what everyone was assuming, but it's more the way that Jay won that a lot of people are getting a little upset about. Even I would probably consider it a little wild the way he did win. Jay making Gunther seem pretty weak. Gunther throughout most of the match early on, Gunther felt pretty strong, but I think as it went, it you could really tell the writing was on the wall that it felt like Jay was going to win. I was thinking maybe there was some kind of swerve coming, given how much they were building that. Oh, Jay's looking like he's really carrying this one home. There were multiple spots where Jay is like doing multiple different moves in a row or multiple finishers or just signatures, like getting them off and not having them countered,
Yep.
which usually builds into someone else getting the final crescendo win, whatever. But that's just not what happened here. It was actually borderline Jay, stomping Gunther, which it's not what I would call it, but it was closer to that than the other way around.
It was. It was.
Good for Jay. Jay did look good. Gunther did make Jay look good. That must have been what it was. They told him in the back, Gunther, you go out there and make this boy look like $1 million because this is his moment. Because that's what they did. They made Jay look like $1 million, and he does look like $1 million right now.
For sure, yeah.
Best singles match I've seen from him in a while. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was kind of like, out of all the matches yesterday, I was not expecting that match to be. I thought as good as it's one of the better matches of the night for sure. Just with storyline, because again, we'll get into the nitty gritty of all the other matches. I didn't think a lot of storylines were told last night. Yes, they were told, but it was a weird show. It was a very weird show. But with this one specifically, obviously all the stuff that had been going on beforehand, with Jimmy and all that stuff, and just them recalling those issues with the sleeper holds and knocking Jay out for 3 weeks straight, and the sleeper hold knocking Jimmy out. And like I said, I told you last night that I think this match deserved color or blood, just because of what happened to Jimmy. But I could see they don't want Jay to be this menacing type of guy. I think it would have definitely developed his character a little bit more, saying something like, basically, like, because he told Gunther, he's like, I'm a different person. You're not going to know who I am. I really do feel like I still saw the same Jey Uso. Like, I don't think it was anything different than what he normally is.
Yeah.
He just didn't tap out. That's all he just didn't tap out. But yeah, I still think it was one of the better matches of the night, and definitely one of the best storytelling matches, obviously. Going back off to Cody versus next comment about what Paul Heyman did. We will get to that, my friend. We will get to that, and we'll definitely talk much into it. But Cody. Yeah. I think the match was great. Jey Uso is now our World Heavyweight Champion, and I seen a clip on Twitter today. His blue side plates with the World title. I prefer the World title over the WWE title. It just looks so much better in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then the little blue side plates they're great. So we'll hopefully have Jey Uso for a little bit, and
I'm guessing they show that on the show later, so I'll definitely get a chance to watch that. Let me add in one quick thing for anyone, for Cody, for you that's here in chat right now, for anyone that does end up watching. I will end up probably streaming after this episode ends up being over, and then I'll actually end up probably streaming WrestleMania Live itself. So, and that's the kind of thing that we both plan on doing going forward.
Yes.
If a pay-per-view's on, we'll probably live stream ourselves watching it. Like, obviously we can't stream it ourselves to Twitch, but we want y'all to be like a community here watching it with us. So
for sure.
The only other thing I'll say real quick, first match. Yeah, I would put this in like a top half matches of the night versus like bottom half. There were definitely more stinker matches versus something like this. The reason I say I really like Jay more here than maybe normal is because he was whipping out those moves that we're not used to seeing. I think the power bomb he whipped out on Gunther,
I agree.
was awesome.
I agree with you.
I know Gunther kind of had to really work it to make it look good, but it was cool. I liked it. I think Jay put in the 110% effort that we usually want him to put in, being a main event Jey Uso versus what it did. I feel like we normally get a 75% Jey Uso, and this was him going, wow, everyone's telling me I should put in all my effort tonight. I probably am going to do that.
Yeah. I'll add one more thing. I don't think, because a lot of people are concerned with Gunther getting tapped and him tapping and all that type of stuff. I don't think that really hurts. I think because the actual real world side of it, Gunther, I think, just re-signed a contract with WWE, and he got his own bus and everything like that. I think they're gonna still, once Gunther comes back, I think he's gonna take a couple, maybe a month or two off. He's gonna come back and be this terrorizer, and maybe even go for John Cena if John Cena wins the title, or Cody Rhodes if Cody wins the title, something like that. They got plans for Gunther, and Gunther's, this is not gonna hurt his legacy. I just don't. Yeah, I don't see where that comes from.
No, I agree. I agree with that. People shouldn't worry too much. Saying those kind of things about a guy that just was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, and then had a
Yes.
pretty long World Heavyweight Championship. Like, don't be silly about it. Like, we can all admit that this was a bad look. I agree, and it hurts a little. But I think in WWE, nothing helps more like than what Tyler just said, which is just go away for a month. People kind of forget. They're gonna, what that tells me is that they're gonna throw something on the Jay fire pretty much immediately. They're gonna have someone that's gonna come out to challenge him tomorrow, being Monday, and then after that,
I think it's Solo.
it's Solo. Oh, that would actually be
I think it's Solo.
that would actually be pretty crazy. That would be pretty fucking crazy.
Just to kind of get that loop out of the way, I think it's Solo.
And that's kind of an easy win for Jay to get to solidify him as not a one and done champ. That actually be really cool. Okay, we'll hold that in our back pocket for Monday. But yeah, I think a couple weeks, month go by, all of a sudden Gunther does come back. We're not going to think of him as the guy that got tapped by Jey Uso, but cool.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't need to spend too much more on that match. It was a fine match. It was a good match. I'd go back and watch highlights if I was y'all. I wouldn't listen to anyone that's saying it was like bad or anything. So the next thing we got on the card, following that World Championship match to open the night, we had another championship match, a World Tag Team Championship match, War Raiders versus the New Day. I almost fell asleep reading that. That's how that match was. It literally was the worst match on the card. That's my opinion. But let me not get carried away. The New Day did win the match. They are your new WWE Men's Tag Team Champions. That's what I predicted. Fine to see the prediction come true, but oh my goodness, when I tell y'all that I don't have a single note on this, I'm being serious. I don't have a single note on this. Like, yes, there were fun spots. Every spot I saw is something I've already seen from the War Raiders. It's not the end of the day, but it was nothing revolutionary. Look, now that I've seen this match and this is what I know that they wanted to do for WrestleMania, I'm like, okay, either take it back to the drawing board, don't do it at all, or add tables, ladders, and chairs or something to it. You know what I mean? Like, this is ridiculous. This was such a low quality match for WrestleMania. We've seen it a million times on the mid card on Raw and SmackDown. Like, this was boring. I don't know. If you really love either one of these tag teams, go back and watch it. But that's literally all I have to say. I don't think it deserved WrestleMania when we predicted it, and I feel vindicated in that now. New Day won. Cool. New Day deserve those belts, but it could have happened tomorrow or something. What do you think?
I definitely think it could have been the main event of Raw after Mania. I think people would have been okay with that. Basically anything else would have made this match exciting. If another tag team, say the Hardy Boys, they come out and like attack the New Day after, like, and they're like, yeah, screw the, like, all that type of stuff. Anything else would have just been better. Like, again, this is going back to, like, there was no storyline told, and even with Jay and Gunther, there was no, like, promo package before. This one was somewhat of a promo package, but it was 90% of the New Day and their heel turn, and then like a 10% War Raiders, like, little, and it just went way too fast. Like, I don't know, it just, the whole night felt off.
I think a big part of that was this match. Like, in all honesty, I think this match being second, being on the card at all,
it just didn't deserve to be on Mania. It just did not deserve to be on Mania. If you're not going to tell another story, like, because now what do the New Day do? They just sit there and they're just tag teams. They probably have another match with the War Raiders. They retain their titles.
I don't know. I wouldn't get too, because I think they're a good heel tag team, in general. So I think you just get whatever face.
But my point is that they haven't done much with the Raw tag team anyway.
I see what you're
saying. They've done way more with the SmackDown tag team. So it's just like they could have just done it on the Mania or the Raw after Mania and got it done with. But it's whatever. I mean, I feel bad for Montez Ford and those guys. They have to do a ladder match on Friday next week instead of having their WrestleMania moment. Like, I would have much rather seen Montez Ford fly off of a ladder, or even just a match in general. Doesn't matter, but I don't know.
Just
It's
something,
because
something more
yeah,
than what that was. Like I'm trying to think of anything. Like I know, so Israel Adesanya, for any UFC fans, he was in the audience. There was a point
yeah,
where Xavier jumps off of the turn. A lot of people are doing these spots nowadays where there's someone kind of strung out on the ropes in some way, and you do some sort of move from the turnbuckle out to them, right? Either Ray Phoenix running on the ropes and hitting you, or what Xavier did here is he jumped from the top rope, kicking down on the guy who was stuck in the ropes, and he goes style bender, like Izzy Adesanya, and he kicks him. Ooh, I'll just say this. You know what actually left like a horrible. I think what really, really set the tone poorly for this match is that Eric and Ivar, the form you actually called this out during our kind of like live watching of it. Eric and Ivar are the former Viking Raiders. They
yeah. They
shed
come
the
out as
Viking Raiders, assuming that's because people don't like it or people weren't resonating with Viking
yeah.
Raiders. They switched to War Raiders, which is more of just like a biker gang, like we're just guys that fight. Makes sense, I guess. Whatever. Then they go back to Viking Raiders. They're still called the War Raiders, but now they are once again Viking Raiders just for this match, but not because it's like a WrestleMania entrance, because they're doing a fucking Clash of Clans advertisement. And it's like, that's fucking it. They spend the whole
It's just
entrance.
an ad. That's why this
They,
match was an ad.
the
Like
whole entrance for
that's
War Raiders exactly is Pat McAfee doing his like fake Northerner accent to do a Clash of Clans. He's like, and you got
he's like
Pink here, and he's like,
you didn't have Hog Rider. Like we would have been
yeah,
fine with Hog
he's just like
Rider.
arguing with Wade Barrett about Clash of Clans for like 5 minutes straight, and it's like, y'all do not care about this match, do you, man? Y'all do not care about this match, and it's just like, whatever, man.
I love it. Anyway,
That's that
scrap
match.
that
New
one. We
Day
don't need to talk
won.
about it anymore.
You can take
It's
the
just
next
yeah,
one.
New Day
Let's
one.
let's talk about one that's a little bit better, in my opinion.
Yeah, singles match: Naomi versus Jade Cargill. Okay, we. This is something I did not expect. I did not expect Naomi to just kind of cleanly lose here. I
Yep.
didn't. That's something I don't know. I thought that they would definitely have this feud kind of go a little bit longer. And now Jade is, Naomi can
Sorry.
still attack Jade here and there and do like Jade has a promo, Naomi comes out, screw you, blah blah blah, that type of stuff. But um, I don't know. I mean, maybe kind of what you were saying is right. They're gonna start this Jade and Bianca stuff a little bit sooner. I figured they want to do it at Mania, um, but who knows? Who knows what's going to go with it? I have no idea. WWE is going to, hopefully cook up something good because I think this feud has a lot going with it. There's a lot of storytelling with it. It's been almost a year now for this stuff. So, um, but yeah, Jade wins pretty much basically clean. I will say the ending spot of her match was insane.
Mm,
Like she picked up Naomi like from the back, like did like a power bomb type of thing, and then did her finisher again to finish her. That was pretty cool, pretty clean. Jade, I definitely think can handle herself in the ring with other talent. Just because of how strong she is and how big she is. So she's definitely gonna be a force to come.
yeah. No, Jade proved herself. This match was way more fun than the one we just talked about. Like, is it the best match in the world or anything along that line? No. But Jade did prove that she's no longer, I think, the person sitting down, in the NXT Performance Center just trying to, like, prove she
Yeah,
should be on TV right now. I think we're past that. It's a good sign. Um, it's still like Naomi was the one still doing most of the work, still doing a lot of the actual kind of heavy lifting of what makes it
yeah,
look good. But it does take Jade bringing in that strength and bringing in that pure stamina from beginning to end because the stuff like Tyler said, the stuff they were doing near the end of the match, like the spots were amazing. Not just the one Tyler called out to end the match. So yeah, she did like a basically like I don't even know how you would describe that. Like has her in an upwards position up top and
yeah.
then flips her into a power bomb, then power bombs her.
Wow, wow.
Then does that. I don't even know what you call it, but that cross thing, face plant, body, whatever finisher, then finishes her
What her
off.
finish? Yeah, I don't know what the
I
finish
don't know
is
what it's
called, but
called,
yeah,
but they're both awesome moves. But there was also a move earlier, catching Naomi just straight up crossbody catching her, slamming her down. Definitely not easy to do at all. That was a cool spot. There were a couple other ones that I'm blanking on right now, but that match is worth going back watching the highlights of. But in general, it had the story element baked in already going in, and I think a lot of us were just worried the match might not have lived up to quality expectations, but it did. I think it really did. Like we were saying, I'll say this prediction wise. Obviously, I was not only wrong, like I was dead wrong. So not like Naomi didn't win, but also Bianca didn't come out at all. Which also now leads me to believe that I'll probably be wrong about my other prediction. Now I'm not changing it in any way, but I'm totally not so much on board with the idea of Bianca winning. Although from what I've seen, like for anyone that like really follows closely or cares at all about betting markets for WWE, because they usually do it for WrestleMania. The favorite does seem to be Bianca. Now I'm kind of shocked by that. I'm surprised it's not Io. I would be more inclined now to pick Io, assuming there isn't some weird Bianca thing coming. But maybe I will end up being right still. I think there's still an avenue for me to be right in the sense that Bianca still does a heel turn here tonight. But that's not super important for what
I
we're talking
think
about
you
here.
could be right too, or in some way, because I think we've also forgot to mention in the SmackDown thing they had their kind of face to face
Oh,
thing.
that's right. Yeah.
And Jade came out and was like, you're choosing her, like you chose her, and Bianca's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I
Yeah.
didn't do anything. Um, so there could be that. Jade could come back out on night two when Bianca is about to win and screw Bianca over because she's like, you're helping Naomi and blah blah blah. And that's how they start that feud. You know what I mean? So I don't know what we can see how that works tonight, but yeah, I think just kind of finish what you were saying. I apologize for interrupting.
No, you're good. You're good. Wasn't a whole lot left to say on that. Just prediction was wrong. I mean, I'm not too bummed about it. I liked the match. Liked how it ended. Jade was feeling herself even at the end. Like she just I don't know if anyone caught it, but like at the end, Jade just starts like emoting on Naomi's lifeless body. Just literally starts doing multiple different taunts that I don't know if I've seen her do them before, but it was hilarious. So and I'll just say this: they did do like this like funny. It not the best WrestleMania and in general, not the best. Probably might be one of the worst WrestleManias ever for entrances. I'll actually just go ahead and say that. Jade, like her entrance was like funny though. I guess is what I'm getting at. That it was like a weather reporter being like,
Yeah,
"Oh, we're having sunny, clear days here. Oh, actually, hold on. I'm getting this in just
the
now.
storm is
The
coming.
storm is coming. A storm is coming." And then it's Jade's
Yeah,
entrance. A storm is here. And then
yeah. At least some
that
people
was
try to
it.
do fancy entrances. A lot of people just didn't do anything, and that's kind
Some,
of I
yeah,
also
some
think what
got
made
nothing at all.
made it a little bit boring. So, but all right.
Cool. That was
The
that.
Yeah, moving on to the next match is the WWE United States Championship. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Okay, and I am now after this 1-3. So I definitely had LA Knight winning because I really thought Solo or
Yeah.
somebody was going to come out because they had kept building it over every single week. Every match that Jacob would have or every match that LA Knight or anybody would have, like it would be with the Bloodline, Timu Bloodline, whatever you want to call them. And there would just be some sort of interference. And they had Jacob Fatu like stand tall both times, basically, like at the past two SmackDowns. So, but hey, good for Jacob. Like obviously, I think he's gonna have a terror reign as a WWE champion or a WWE champion as a United States champion. And yeah, I think he's gonna have some fantastic matches. You can book him pretty much with anybody. I'm very excited to see Jacob Fatu and like Carmelo Hayes and those type of guys.
Ooh, that'd be good.
It's gonna be dude. They're gonna be banger of matches. They're gonna be so good because yeah, like Carmelo could be a perfect heel. Jacob is kind of a baby face right now because everybody wants to cheer for him.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's gonna be some fun stuff. It's gonna be some fun stuff with him as champion. So hopefully LA Knight is on to bigger and better things. Hopefully like again, if John Cena does win, hopefully LA Knight can go after that or.
That could be pretty
Maybe
cool.
a brand switch because I was thinking if John Cena does win, the WWE title now goes over to Netflix and Raw, and the World Heavyweight Championship comes over to SmackDown after that type of stuff. And maybe if the like LA Knight can go up to the World Heavyweight Championship or something. I don't know. We'll
I'm not
see how
against
we'll see
that.
what happens. We'll see
LA,
what
yeah.
Mania brings us.
I think we both believe in LA Knight pretty heavily, so as long as they put him in a direction, I'm fine with it. I'm not even necessarily against putting him if they want to perennially put him in the mid card for now and have him even go after the IC belt. I'm not horribly against that. We don't.
I just think he's too talented on the mic to be in the mid card. I think he's way too
Oh,
talented on
I
the mic
agree
to be
with
mid
that.
card.
I agree with that. I'm more just like it's so crowded at the top that it's like
I know
if it
it's
ends up
unfortunate.
being something where they can't find room, then I'm not against just like a mid card swap until they find that spot for the upper card belt. But what I'll say on this, I obviously, I ended up being right. I feel like my prediction was just pretty spot on, where it ended up being yes. So yes, like you said, they were really trying to lead us one way with story beats. I think at this point now,
Yeah.
like now we know like what the result is. So that's probably what it ended up being. That maybe they were just trying to get us to think, oh, we did the stand tall thing. Because I agree with you. It's like, oh shit, okay, like what do we
The only
got?
person who stands tall on a show doesn't
Right,
win. So it's
especially
like,
the one
yeah,
right before.
yeah,
When I
exactly,
saw that on
exactly.
SmackDown, I kind of was like, ooh, I feel like I might be getting this one wrong, but no, we ended up getting Jacob Fatu just dusted him.
We might like this might be the rise of the United States Championship. Honestly, like you know how
I
the
agree.
IC title's always been the title to go after. I think Jacob Fatu is going to hold this thing for a long time.
Jacob
I think he's
Fatu
going to hold it for a long time.
is a high end
He,
talent. Yeah,
I'm not going to say he's going to have a Gunther type reign, but I think he's going to hold it for quite a while.
no, but it doesn't need to be that long. But he is bringing like a main event talent to the mid card right now with what he's doing.
Yep.
Um, the belt gives exactly what a guy like this needs, which is a little bit more personality outside. Like, nah, and this he's a great promo cutter. He's great at what he does, but I feel like they've been trying to find a way to connect him to the audience more than what they've already done, and this
Yep.
just like easily, literally does it immediately. Like he's now your U.S. champ. He looks good with the belt.
And then
It's
just
yeah.
try and build storylines out of nothing. Now it's a storyline for the title, and now we can have all these matches for just the title itself. Like it can just be a
Yeah,
one off match with somebody I don't even know who I can think of right now.
they're
Umberto or something like that. Like they can have a fantastic match or
well,
something. I don't know.
they'll 100% run back Braun Strowman. I know that. I
Oh,
know
for
that for a
sure. Yeah,
fact.
for sure.
That match will hit like crack at the next pay per view. Um, but yeah, it was
Oh
a
yeah.
fun match. I'll just kind of say this as far as the match itself. There was a really cool spot. Some people were hating on it. I don't know. This is what I meant from the last episode. I'm not gonna rant again, but I don't understand hating on this. Like they did a Jacob Fatu goes for his moonsault. Very impressive move, by the way, from him. I could say that every single time we talk about him, but he goes for his moonsault, and LA Knight gets up and BFTs him from the back flipping position. So as he
Dude,
does the salt, he
ridiculous.
comes up underneath him and BFTs him. That was a cool
It's
spot in my
basically
opinion.
it's basically like
It's
the
like an
Evan Bourne
RKO.
RKO. It's like the same
Yes,
thing, right?
yes, it
It's
was
just it's
cool.
because it's LA Knight, people want to hate on it
They
because he
wanted
had
to
all
hate
this
on it.
popularity. It's
It's
ridiculous.
like, yeah, it's never gonna look
Absolutely
quite
ridiculous.
like an RKO does. That's why the RKO is so legendary, dude. But it was still a fun, innovative spot for WrestleMania, and they did it. But other than that, the way they have the match kind of end is that's pretty much the crescendo for LA Knight in that match. I would say from that point on, it's basically
Hmm.
Jacob Fatu. Like any kind of advance LA Knight starts to have, Jacob Fatu is like pretty solid in defending what it is, and then
Yeah.
he goes into his offense, and then it ends up
Yeah.
being like couple finishers in a row, couple moonsaults in a row, swanton bomb, all these things to finish off LA Knight and get the win. So not exactly like super duper exciting match to like rewatch, but it is maybe worth going to see how Jacob Fatu gets that belt because, like Tyler said, that could end up being one of the longer reigns, probably at the very least in recent history for the U.S.
Yeah. It's gonna
Championship.
be a
So,
long time.
anything else on that one, or are we good to go to the next?
No, I think I'm gonna move to the next match, which is a match versus El Grande Americano, and it was scheduled to be Rey Mysterio, but we got a swerve
Something
right there at the
different.
beginning of the show and got Mr. Rey Fenix. Uh, Personally, I think he's better than Penta. I just like his move. I like his move set better. Whatever, cool. Anyway, but no, the match was good. Still got the shenanigans. Still got all that type of stuff. You know. Um, I don't understand at the end of the match why that UFC fighter came and like for like 10 minutes was just trying to lift Rey Fenix
Yeah.
up at the end. I don't understand that, but go ahead. Just to give the show face. I don't know. But no, I mean the match was good, just kind of like we expected. El Grande Americano versus another luchador. They're two fantastic move sets. Yeah, there's not much to say. There was no story building to this. It was just a match to throw because of kind of what happened to Ray. So, um, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. There's nothing much. It
No,
was some
you're
cool
totally
cool
fine.
spots, all that type of stuff. Again, some shenanigans from El Grande, putting a little plate and messing with the ropes and all that stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, I would say this, given what the match was, so no stipulation, it was just supposed to be the literal feud of it being Ray versus this fake luchador, right? That was supposed to be the entire thing. I guess I
yeah,
respect that they didn't just scrap it entirely just because Ray got hurt. That they found this kind of way, this avenue to just keep the show alive, whatever. And I'm glad they did for the sake of what it was. It was a good match, like Tyler said, a lot of good spots. However, probably another case of like didn't necessarily need to be a WrestleMania match.
mhm.
In simply what I mean is the fact that once Ray was out, it's like you've really lost any semblance of this being like a serious match. However, what I will say is, you know, again, funnily enough, so like I was saying in last episode, Julia seems to be fighting all these other luchadors, which they ended up doing. It ended up being Ray. It ended up being
Yeah.
both Rays, I guess. But then, and you were saying, well, what do we think happens? If El Grande Americano wins at WrestleMania, is he going to get to fight Penta? Is he going to get to fight Ray Phoenix? Well,
Yeah, there
that's
we go.
actually literally what we got. He beats
Yeah.
Fenix. I'm actually wondering if that leads to something where they find a way to get him to then go against Penta as well at some point down the line. Well, actually, am I dumb? Is that not who he literally fought early on, or maybe I'm just I don't know. I,
No,
I don't think
Chad
he
fought
did.
Penta.
Chad
Chad
did.
fought
That's right.
Penta.
That's right. So, it was cool. Like I don't know.
There's
Maybe
not much to say. There's not much to say. There was no
well
story.
maybe
It was
another
just a match.
match that
It was an AEW type match. You just
yeah
put two good talents together, and boom, there you go.
just
There's
kind of hope
no
something
build up, no nothing.
happens. Yeah,
Yeah. So
like maybe if it had more time allocated to it, or again, maybe I'm just sounding like a child when I say this, but if it had like tables, ladders, chairs, and some fashion added just to give us more of like a wow pop factor at WrestleMania, you know what I mean, like the biggest stage of them all,
yeah,
it could have used it because otherwise this just felt like a really good mid card match. I'm
they
gonna be
used all their
honest.
budget on LA Knight's car
Yeah, yeah, that's true. We didn't
and
even mention that LA Knight's
And
entrance
Charlotte's car.
in Charlotte as well. Yeah, so look, um, I guess I don't know if we actually said it or not, but El Grande Americano won the match.
Yes,
He won the match. So we both predict Ray? Is that what we
we
did?
both predicted right. Yes.
So
So I am unfortunately like 1 for 4 right now. It's a
yeah,
rough start for me.
we already got
Hey,
that one wrong off of its face. Didn't even get to wrestle. I still personally think Ray Mysterio was pegged to win that match. I don't think they were gonna have Ray lose that match, but
yeah, who knows?
who knows
You
now?
can never. Yeah, you never know.
I
We'll never
guess we'll
know.
never know. That kind of thing.
I
So,
guess we'll never know.
all right, cool. We
Next
can go to the
match.
next thing. Yeah.
Go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, so next match on the card, actually pretty good. I would put this one in the top few, if not top three, just straight up match. But maybe number two, maybe the second best match on the card.
Yep.
WWE Women's World Championship match. Tiffany Stratton defending against Charlotte Flair. The winner being Tiffany Stratton. That is what I predicted. Real quick? Is that what you predicted as well? We both
That is
got
what
this
I
right.
predicted.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I thought.
All because we just hated.
We hated Charlotte so much. I actually think me and you were literally both exactly correct. I do think Charlotte maybe actually had
I
that
think the
match.
majority of people had Charlotte winning because of like what's been going on.
What's been
So
going on?
I'm
Yeah, but
I'm
but
I'm
hey,
cool with
if
it.
you were here with the D&T wrestling show, you already knew what was going to happen. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
we're that omniscient. But no, we I think we actually pegged this one correctly though. Actually, like seriously, I think we laid this one out perfectly for why it was going to happen the way it did, and that's kind of how it went. I will say, for as much shit as I talked about Charlotte Flair, I think she came around exactly how someone like myself should have wanted her to for this match. She was amazing. She did not like stiff Charlotte, or Jesus, Tiffany. Tiffany did not stiff Charlotte. Like they were both great, you know, partners for each other. I was actually kind of hoping that this would have ended in some fashion of it being like maybe they do shake hands or give a light hug and hand raise at the end. That is not what happened. Like, it wasn't even it. I think maybe what they actually did is they played it up. Maybe they did that on purpose, which kudos to them. But they played it up like maybe they were gonna do that, and then they didn't. Right? Like they're
It
like,
kind of did,
nah,
yeah. Towards the
fuck
end,
you.
yeah.
Like I don't actually like you. I don't actually want to do this. But okay, just for anyone, even if you're someone watching because you know us and you're not like the biggest wrestling fan, out of all these things we're telling you guys about, maybe other than the next match, the last match of the card, this match I would go ahead and maybe take a look and watch because these are two really great wrestlers. These are two great women in general. Charlotte Flair has an amazing career. Tiffany has a great one ahead of her. I mean, Tiffany was bleeding, genuinely bleeding by the end of this match. Chip tooth, I believe, right? Chip
No,
tooth.
actually, in her at least
Actually,
unless she fixed it in because there was a post match interview, like how they do their stuff,
so
and it seemed like she was fine. So I think it
okay.
was just either
Well, uh,
coloring or something. I have no idea.
no, no,
I have
no.
no clue.
Enough blood coming out of her teeth that it looked like they were bleeding because that was
Yeah.
real. That was real. She had busted up face, like bruising during the match, which is not something you usually see. That usually comes after. So they
Hmm.
were really beating each other up. They were really getting at each other. Um, they were kind of even telling like a pretty good story in the ring as well. You know what I mean? Like going this back and forth of signatures and finishers, but like as they were getting towards the end, both women were just so beat, so tired, they could barely get a move out. So you'd have someone kind of like do a move and then like the following movement was just so slow that like a pin couldn't be done. That's kind of how the match was going. A lot of match psychology with limb damage. Obviously, Charlotte does a lot of submissions. Whatever. I could go on a little longer about the match itself, but I won't. I'll kind of let you get your thoughts out. But I loved it. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are hating on it for whatever reason. Just because there was either
Haters.
some either like botches or I don't even know because
Uh,
I didn't really see anything like
I
that.
don't know.
I saw just like cat fight stuff, like how we saw at the beginning. Like they were
Yeah.
just kind of just tossing each other, nothing like really skilled. Like sure, if you want to hate on that, cool. I think it kind of tells to the story of kind of what had been going on between the two. Like they had literally wanted to kill each other. They
Yeah.
hated each other. Um, and I think I still am a firm believer of that. WWE initially planned on Charlotte winning, and because of what she has been doing the past couple of weeks, not playing by the script, not playing by the rules, I think they may have pulled that from her, and I don't think that she. Yeah, I just think they may have pulled that from her and it was like, yeah, we're just going to keep Tiffany. Screw it. Like, you want to act like this? We'll do that. Like, that's kind of what I would do in that situation. I'm not going to have you run my company. I'm going to run my company and tell you what to do. That's just what I would do. Um, so yeah, I think again, I think it was a fantastic match. Yeah, there were some really cool spots. Like Charlotte did look a little rusty for sure. Just coming off of that knee injury, this is like her third match. She had Royal Rumble, she had that one with BFAB, and now she has this. So good for her. Excited to kind of see where she takes her career. I don't know if I don't know what she's gonna do. Um, but I'd be okay if it's not much. But yeah, so yeah, I'm cool with Tiffany winning. Excited to see, like we were talking about, like people like Roxanne Perez and all these other fantastic women that are in Jade Cargil, Naomi, like these type of matches that we get to see now. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
As my cat Gigi joins us here on the pod.
El Gato.
She's gonna be leaving us for now. But no, yeah, you just brought up a great point. Is probably the last thing we could touch on for this match. Just what comes next. Obviously, I think we're all very excited to see what comes next with Tiffany. You could do a lot, right? It could be maybe one of the women that loses tonight in the triple threat. Could be going back to some type of I'm like Naya, it could be Liv Morgan, it could be a million things. It could.
Anybody, anybody, yeah.
I'm pretty much just hoping they don't stick with some type of Charlotte, rematch.
No, I
If
don't think they can.
yeah, if they stick with Charlotte in any way, I am deathly afraid that Charlotte is just winning that match guaranteed. You know what I mean? Like if that's what they do,
Yeah,
it's like, oh well, of course Charlotte is gonna win the belt at that point, like that
yeah.
kind of thing. So no,
I
I hope it's
I
not
think
that.
with this, if they do a draft again this year, I think we're going to see a lot of NXT call ups.
I hope
Um,
the women at least.
and
The women at least. There's
and
so many.
distribute some of them into the mid card, maybe like I don't think they're going to take their top talent because NXT likes to at least keep their top talent and have NXT a brand and people to come back and keep watching it. So, but no, I think there's going to be a lot of new faces in this year's coming up WWE cycle.
I agree, and there's so many. That's probably something we can definitely make an episode out of that. I think at some point coming up here, maybe like a pre-draft type of episode, and we can go over our predictions. That actually could be fun. Maybe we can predict.
Dude, so your girl Sol Ruka won the mid card title.
Did she now?
There you go.
Did she
Yes,
now?
she did.
Look, I don't know
All right.
how big this show. I have to say this now. I don't know how big the show will ever get, but Sol Ruka, you can follow the show. You're welcome. You're actually welcome to be on the show whenever you want. So
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
you are
Anytime.
there's literally a third seat on the show for you. But anyways,
That's,
do you want to take the last?
yeah.
You can
Yeah,
give
well,
your give the review, give your recap of it, and then I'll follow up.
so for the main event of night one, the amazing triple threat, our tribal chief, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, and Paul Heyman is just there. Paul Heyman comes out with CM Punk. Okay. Um, the match was fantastic. It really was. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is why Roman Reigns is the GOAT. His matches are amazing. They're awesome. They're slow, methodical storytelling. There's just something is happening at every point in the match. Um, like Roman Reigns, like basically Seth gets his two finishers off on both Roman and CM Punk, goes for the pin, kicks out. Then CM Punk gets his finishers off on Roman and Seth, and then they kick out. And then same vice versa for Roman. Roman then ends up powerbombing both of them through tables. And then the crazy thing happens where Roman and CM Punk are both in the ring, chilling, like they're struggling. Paul Heyman comes in, grabs a chair, decides to who he's going to pass it to, looks at Roman, looks at CM Punk, and decides to slide it to CM Punk, making Roman think. He's like, "Oh no, you turned on me! Oh my God!" CM Punk's like, or Paul Heyman comes in with CM Punk's like, "Yeah, let's do it! Get him! Get him! Get him!" And then the uppercut, the uppercut, the low blow to CM Punk. You made me choose. You made me choose. That's my tribal chief. And then he's like, look, Roman. Look, this is the Shield. You can do it to him.
Mm.
Fight turning back on Seth Rollins. Takes the chair. Gives the chair to Roman. Ooh, uppercut again. Another low blow to Roman Reigns. I'm sitting here screaming. Watching my television, dude. It was
Oh
fantastic.
my
Absolutely
god.
fantastic. I don't care. Some people said it doesn't make sense. I think it makes perfect sense. I am super excited to see what a Seth Rollins can do with a Paul Heyman. I think it's going to be amazing. I am so ready for this year. I'm so ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then just to be clear, who ends up winning that match? Who comes out on top there at the end?
Seth
Seth
Rollins
Rollins.
comes out winning, and that's
Whew.
who your boy had winning. So now
Yes.
with Tiffy winning and Seth winning, I'm now like 3-4. So we on the come up. We on the come up. It's
It's
okay.
not bad. It's not bad.
Bryce comes in with the tribal chief. We
Yeah.
put the ones up, yes sir. But it's okay. He lost, so it's all right.
This is more like sketched right here. This would be like the
Yeah,
tribal
yeah,
chief, but
yeah.
my
Tribal
finger
chief.
gets cut off, so I try to keep it in frame. No, one's up for our tribal chief, Bryce. So with this match, I'm like more upset because oh man, you don't know how bad I wanted to make my prediction that Seth would win
Hmm.
before what I said in our last episode. Before that, they threw me off. They threw me off the scent because it made me feel like, oh, all of y'all that were saying Seth is actually going to be the one, we're giving you this bone to tell you no. We see that you're
Yeah.
saying that, and this is the bone we're giving you to be like, don't think that anymore. It's not going to be Seth. Why would we have him threaten and make it obvious then if we're going to actually have this big turn? And then that's literally what they did. That's literally what they did. And I'm like sitting there
Oh.
going, now I'm looking dumb because I went against it entirely. I literally fell hook, line, and sinker for the other thing, which is like, oh, isn't it obvious it's going to be CM Punk? They literally did a whole Titantron like what's the older song called again? CM Punk's older song.
Oh, the fire burns. The
They played
fire
the Fire
burns. Oh,
Burns
dude.
in a just by the way that package, all of that was awesome. If you grew up with wrestling the
Oh,
way we
dude.
did in the age we did,
Fantastic.
it's hard not to reminisce when you see that. You know what I mean? He does the whole I'm CM Punk and I'm straight edge, and he does this thing. It was cool. But anyways, yeah, this match was absolutely amazing. I was joking on the stream as we watched it. I was saying my conspiracy now is that they purposefully made the rest of the card lackluster so that this match would appear so amazing to us, which it did.
Yeah.
No weapons in sight, no ladders in sight, no tables in sight. It was literally unneeded. Well, technically,
Oh,
there was tables involved. Two people literally did go through a table in this match.
yeah, that's stable,
Roman
yeah.
Reigns has a beast mode moment in this match where he literally him and Seth. So Tyler had mentioned how Paul Heyman does like a little shield moment to whatever Roman to Seth, but there's actually an earlier part where Seth is like, Roman, me and you need to work together.
Yeah,
We need
yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah,
CM
yeah.
Punk out of here. I told you, man. I told you. He's in this for himself, and he's trying to turn Paul against you, man. Look, and Roman looks over, and Paul's sitting there trying to help CM Punk. So then Seth's kind of moving over towards him to go fight him, and he's like, "Come on, man, come help me." So then Roman goes over to try to help him, and he's like, "Screw it, set him up." Hits Seth, powerbombs CM Punk to the table.
Oh,
Hits Seth
dude.
again, powerbombs CM Punk to the table, and then goes in the ring and waits. And then that's kind of right before the big crescendo Tyler kind of just unfolded for you guys. So
Yeah. Well,
look,
dude, and then
yeah,
everybody, like you just said, everybody had their like beast mode moment because, like I said,
that's true.
Seth would hit two finishers. Like Roman and CM Punk would be like locked up, and
Yeah,
then Seth would come in and stomp and then pedigree, and
the,
Seth even also hit the pedigree from the spear,
that was
and then they
awesome.
had the
That was
triple.
really cool.
Dude, they had the triple where CM Punk hit Seth with the GTS, and then Seth bounces off the ropes. Roman spears Punk, and then he's sitting there, then Seth comes and stomps. Dude, it
Yep,
was
yep.
everything was awesome. I don't
The
care because if people were complaining that there was like too many pins or too many anything like that, I don't care. That was amazing,
I don't
amazing,
know.
amazing, amazing.
That match was amazing. The finisher fest was great. The way that they, like Tyler said, the sequencing they were going in, the amount of times they did different little spots, but they weren't just doing that, right? Like it's not that like they were just doing that. Like I said, there was the table spots. Two people went through tables in this match. Just by the way, I don't know if people are even going to remember that, but like, yeah, this match had literally everything from beginning to end. Build up into
Yes.
all three men being involved in an even way, so you're not getting too much of one-on-ones happening. You get finisher fest, you get tables, and you get actual story with an outside interference having a genuine story culmination happen in this match, being what Tyler laid out with Paul Heyman and all that. All of this happened all in one big grand main event. It was like what was this, like 45 minutes? Like this was insane. This
It
was
was
just
great.
like
It was great.
this was in my opinion on par, on tier with the Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns main event last year. You don't need a million people running in to get what I felt was a similar moment, like this jaw
Yeah, you're
dropping.
right. You're so right.
I
Had a
cannot believe it
similar type
because
of like, yep.
being a Paul Heyman guy means something. That's what this match was, and even though so many of us saw it coming, now of course again I predicted it a little incorrectly here, but I still saw this logic of what everyone's talking about, and it still felt so shocking when you're able to do that so well the way they did. You did something right. Like we all were waiting for this to happen, and I, like you said, you were screaming. I was like, like, come on now. What? What? Like, the
Oh
first low
my
blow got me. The
god.
second one, though, I was like, oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
like,
the first level definitely got me, and then I'm sitting here like as I kind of see like the time expand of when he's trying to
yeah,
hit him with the chair. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna turn,
he's gonna
he's gonna
turn.
turn, he's
Yeah,
gonna hit, he's gonna do the same thing,
yeah,
he's gonna do the same. I'm sitting there screaming.
yeah,
I'm like, oh my god, dude, it was great, it was awesome, and I agree with you. Like, I'm not gonna say it's on par with WrestleMania 40, just because like I do think those surprises like of those people coming
oh
in,
yeah, it's
um,
different. It is different.
definitely kind of give it a little bit above. But I will tell you, if WrestleMania 40 is here, this was like right here. This was awesome. I loved it. I absolutely loved everything about it.
My what I would say, just to give this one like a little bit of a leg up, is like this didn't have a belt and this wasn't the one. What I think we all know that
You're right. You're so right.
the night two
Yep.
main event is the main event. So these three men. I said this in the prediction show. Seth was defining this as the match that will push the company in the direction, whatever. Yeah, that's what they did. Now Seth is a Paul Heyman guy. That means a lot to the wrestling world. Um, and
Yes, yes,
they
it
didn't
does.
do it in some way where Seth is like belittling himself to get it. Like him and Paul pulled some real good villain stuff there, man. They were doing the little. Look, no one does mannerisms and actual in ring movements and acting than Paul Heyman, and like the
Yeah.
just the little touch of Paul Heyman kind of like doing like he's walking off in one direction and then he's like handing over his back. What was it that he handed? Was it the chair itself, or maybe it was something that he was like handing Seth, like a here you go, my lord, like that kind of thing. Like, but
Maybe it
it
was.
was
I don't
very
know.
evil villain. Like, yes, we got you. We just made that turn that
And
you weren't
this
expecting.
allows for, like, that was another thing. Like, Seth Rollins has, he's been trying to be the heel. He's been doing heelish things, but in a face type of way.
Yeah,
This allows him to kind of still be the not a face, not a
yeah,
face, but like, because now all the anger and animosity is going to go to Paul
that's
in
true.
those situations,
That's
because
true.
I think people are still going to sing Seth's song and do all that kind of stuff.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe
this
they don't.
is,
Maybe they're
I
just like,
think,
screw you, dude. I don't want to, like, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. It's great. It's great. I'm super excited to see kind of where we go.
we
It really
obviously
is.
love the match. If it isn't clear to you guys, the last thing we really sunk our teeth into was probably that before we went to sleep, type of thing. You know what I mean? Went late.
Hmm.
I was just gonna say, I think Seth is gonna get the most pop he's got in a long time. Maybe since the Money in the Bank shocker that he did years ago,
Yeah.
which we weren't even really watching wrestling when that happened. So I think he can come out with some major good heat with Paul. Like people really singing his song. Like thank you Seth for this moment. Just so amazing. And like
Oh,
now that we've seen the result, I think it's like it also comes back and hits us in. Now me and you said this, of course, if you're here at the D&T wrestling show, you would have already gotten this analysis. But Seth has been carrying this promo, carrying this feud entirely on his back in the first place. It does make sense that he won. It actually does make sense, and now he gets to reap all the rewards from it. Because going forward, we're not going to have CM Punk and Roman on most of these shows to begin with. So this all makes perfect sense. This actually all makes perfect sense. I am upset with myself for not getting it right once again. What can you do? But look, that's a good little show right there. It's a good solid hour. Let me ask you this: like,
yep.
anything else? I'll ask you this: anything else you wanted to touch on for night one, and then anything you want to say as kind of like, hey, we're going into night two. I mean, and just anything you want to say.
Yeah, I think night one's pretty summed up pretty good. I think we definitely again, overall, the night was definitely meh until the main event. Night two, I'm excited to kind of see where some of these go. I think we're gonna have a little bit more excitement because there is the threat of Bailey now being out of the tag match, and I
That's
think
right.
I'm gonna put my prediction. I'm gonna put my prediction in now. I think it's gonna be Becky Lynch. And I was going to send it in the Discord earlier. I think Becky Lynch is going to cost Lyra the match because Becky wants
Ooh.
the IC title.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think Becky
yeah.
wants the IC title, and Becky's going to
Okay.
be the heel in the situation. And I think it works perfect because Seth is now a heel, and I think Becky can now be a heel. Um, so yeah, and the last time that Becky was in, like, Becky will get the pop and be
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
"Oh
it'll be
yeah,
the
I'm here, I'm
return. The
back, I'm
return. Yeah,
fine."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then it's going to be the dramatic moment of, "Oh no, Becky,
Ah.
why did you do that?"
Wow.
Like that type of
I
thing.
like it a
So
lot,
I think
actually.
I'm gonna say that, and then we obviously do have the Randy Orton versus another random opponent. Who can it be? I have no clue. Like I said, I've seen Rusev, I've seen other options. Um, and I think we're going to get a pop with that, and I think that's going to be exciting. A lot more excitement than kind of what we got. I'm going to say the crowd has not been the
Oh
best in
my
my
god.
opinion.
I yes.
So
That's
so
been the worst part of the
hopefully,
entire thing,
yeah.
dude.
And actually, I saw someone on Twitter, and it makes a ton of sense. Um, I think WWE focused too much on like star power being there.
I
And what
agree.
that kind of does is that those people may not really know wrestling.
Yeah. They're there to get their
Because
camera
that's one thing I
shots
forgot
in.
to mention, and that's one thing I forgot to mention in the SmackDown. they were they were booing Cody Rhodes
Yeah. Yeah.
like hard. They
Yep.
were trying to boo him out of the building,
Yep. And
and
what does that show?
I was
Who
sitting there. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what does that show? Who does that mean is in the seats? A bunch of Hollywood people probably who actually are like
Exactly, right?
massive John
It's like,
Cena
oh no, I'm
fans
here to
or
see
or
John Cena. John
older,
Cena's my friend.
like an older
Exactly,
crowd. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. So like these people haven't been watching for the past 3 months, 2 months, whatever it's been now. So yeah, I don't. Again, the
Uh,
crowd, like, there's not a lot of wrestling fans there. There's a lot of like either older or movie stars or whatever it is. It is in Vegas, so that's kind of obviously expected. Um, but I don't know. I don't know what to expect for the Cody Rhodes and John Cena match. I don't know if it's going to be an infamous, like, is it going to be like a Rock versus Hogan type of deal where they turn on somebody in mid match, like they want to cheer for John and they don't want to cheer for Cody? Is it going to be like that? Are we going to get that type of moment at this
uh,
WrestleMania? Who knows? Who knows? I have no idea. I have no idea. I think the natural world wants to cheer for Cody. I just think that crowd specifically doesn't want to cheer for Cody. I don't know what it is, but we'll see.
I didn't even think about that. I'll be honest with you. If that match has significant booing for Cody and cheering for John, that'll ruin the fucking match, dude. That'll ruin the whole thing. Like that's just not
It
the
will.
story that's being
It'll
told.
ruin the build
It's
up.
just not the story
It's
that's
not.
being
It's
told.
not.
It's gonna ruin all the like all these beats that'll probably end up taking place. What are they gonna boo when like other good guys run in maybe, or if like another
I
if the
don't know, man. I
if
don't know.
Travis, what are they gonna cheer Cena all the way up until Travis Scott shows up and then they'll remember that they hated the Travis Scott thing and then they'll boo? Is that what's gonna happen? Like,
Yeah, I don't. I
um,
don't know.
you know, yeah, no. I'll just say with a couple of the other things you said. No, I'm definitely, I won't be, no changing the predictions that we already made here or anything like that. However, I am going to be piggybacking off what you said. Now that we are knowing it's not Bailey and assuming that it probably would be Becky, to be honest with you, I don't really see who else it could be. Um, for WrestleMania at least. I actually love that idea that Becky will become a heel on return and actually match Seth. With all the
Yep.
talk that CM Punk did leading up to now, your wife, your wife, your wife. I didn't think any of that was ever a mistake. I actually thought it was really wild the recent reports that it was saying Becky would never wrestle again. I was like, what? Like that makes no sense to me at all. It's been very
No,
obvious
that's
they've been
WWE planting
yeah.
something for them to get
It's
out there. WWE has their own burner accounts, bro. That's how they
Yeah,
get people to
it's been
believe in stuff.
obvious. It's been obvious if y'all are paying
For
attention.
sure.
Like they know, especially someone like CM Punk. They don't make comments for no reason, bro. Like y'all just gotta listen. Y'all gotta pay attention. Like that. That's why y'all got us. We make sure that we catch these things for y'all and we tell you. But
We dig deep.
we
We
dig
dig
deep.
deep.
We dig deep. And something you would have seen and heard in the last several months is the amount of times they call it Becky Lynch by name. That's not a mistake. So. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, that should be cool if that's the switch there. With the Randy Orton thing, it could be literally anybody. I mean, for Christ Almighty, for it could be your mother, it could be Great Khali, it could be the Easter Bunny. You know what I mean? It could be Snoop Dogg, and he could be high. Could be
Dude, Easter
anybody.
Bunny would be lit. It is.
Easter
It
Bunny
is
would be
Easter,
lit.
man. That'd be kind of
That's
sick.
exactly.
That'd be
It
sick.
could be Jesus. He's back. On this day exactly.
It
So
could be Jesus.
I'm playing that. I'm playing that.
I mean, Seth Rollins,
Shout out
dude.
Jesus.
Seth Rollins came out as the
He
Messiah.
did
He
do a
really did.
Messiah thing, which is funny. Not looking back, just real quick, just looking back at that, he literally burned it down like an old image of him in all black, and then came out in this Messiah thing, which he did he shed an old self to gain a new in this match. So
Seth is goaded,
funny
dude. He's
little
goaded.
Seth.
Anyway.
Seth does love his artistry. I will give him that. So yeah, look. All I gotta say left myself is that we got night 2 tonight. I agree with you, Tyler. I think this night should be a lot better. My guess is Triple H is in the back, chewing people out, especially the mid carders, and going. A lot of those people back there thought that they were getting ready to be main event people, and now they're not because some of those matches sucked. So,
Yep.
some of y'all need to come out here and be great. I would definitely look out for the Drew and Damian Priest match to be a lot better than maybe it was going to be at first. I think that's a match
Hmm.
I would pinpoint as a match they're going to tell to be like, you guys need to bring the house down. We can't have another stinker like mid card that nobody cares about.
Yep.
So
For sure.
watch for night 2, everybody. Like I said, like I mentioned, I'll be streaming it later. I'll be streaming myself watching it when it's on. If you want to come hop in, we're streaming this live right now, of course. But if you want to hop in later, come and watch. You got any other words, Tyler, for the people before we end
No,
the episode.
we'll be back on Tuesday with night two and a Monday Night Raw review, going over kind of both of those, and have a wonderful wrestling weekend, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday.
All right. Take it easy, y'all. See y'all Tuesday. Have a good one. Happy Easter.
Peace out.